Hello students, welcome to Eternal AC Education. In this session, you are going to learn Chapter 1, Introduction to Computers. Content of this video is what is data, what is information, what are the components of computer. What is the data? Data is defined as an unprocessed collection of raw facts suitable for communication, interpretation or processing. What is the meaning? Data is a collection of facts, or it is said to be raw facts. What is the meaning of raw facts? They have given an example. See here, 134, 16, Kavita, C. These are all data. That means there is a number, there is a word, there is a character. That means single letter. All are here, but there is no meaning for this. So it is said to be raw facts. It is said to be unprocessed collection of data or the raw facts. This will not give any meaningful message, but there is a content that is said to be data. Then comes the information. Information is a collection of facts from which conclusions may be drawn. That means after collecting the data, it is organized, then the information is formed. In simple words, we can say that data is the raw facts that is processed to give meaningful, ordered or structured information. So after collecting the data, it is organized, then it forms a meaningful sentence which is said to be a information. Is it clear, children? For example, see the given data is organized here. Kavita is 16 years old. Previously the data was in separate. So if there is a data, that is a word, a character or number without any meaning, but there is a content, that is said to be a data. After the formation of a meaningful statement or formation, then it is said to be information. This information is about Kavita and conveys some meaning. This conversion of data into information is called data processing. I'll again repeat, there is a data which is a raw fact. Then it is converted to form a information. This conversion of data into information is called data processing. So the conversion of the raw facts into meaningful statement is said to be data processing. Now, what is the components of computer? As we know, computer is a combination of hardware and software. We know the physical parts are there, but without the installation of software, we cannot use a computer. And I want to insist a point, computer represents group of device. For example, if I cannot say that I am having a computer just having a mouse. Is it clear? Imagine that I am having a monitor alone, but I cannot say that I am having a computer. I need a monitor, I need a keyboard, I need a mouse, I need a CPU if it is a desktop. So I need minimum 4 devices and everything should be connected and particular software should be installed, or else I cannot say the word that I am having a computer. So is it clear, children? So now, being a computer science student, you have going to learn what is keyboard, for which keyboard is used, what is the meaning for it. So the device which are all connected is having a division. Here they have given the components of computer. Which first one is input unit. Here there is a output unit. Central one, which is a control unit, ALU, internal memory, all the things which are in the black color rectangular box is said to be the CPU. So 3 minimum units. One is input unit, middle is central processing unit, next one is output unit. So we need 3 units. Then there is a main memory and a secondary memory. So now we are going to learn what are the units, what are the device coming under which unit, what is its purpose, and how it is connected. First, we are going to see about input unit. Input unit is used to feed any form of data to the computer which can be stored in the memory unit for further processing. So, input unit is used to feed any form of data. Any form of data in the sense, if we want to type our name, we have to use the keyboard. Am I right? Without the keyboard, we cannot type anything. Then, if we want to store our photo in our computer, then we need a scanner, because scanner scans the photo and it is given to the CPU. So, any data, whether it is a text or an image or a audio video file, any form of data, which device is used to store any data to the computer is said to be the input unit. Then you may have a question, where it is stored. It is stored in the memory unit. We will see in detail. Just now have the idea what is input unit. Input unit means a device which is used to give a data into the computer. What is the data? The data may be a text, or it may be a audio video file, or it may be a photo, image, anything else. So if we want to store anything to our computer, we need a device to store inside that. So the device which is used to store a content inside the CPU is said to be input unit or input device. For example, see keyboard and mouse. As we know, keyboard is used for typing purpose. What is the use of mouse? Mouse is used for selecting any application. If you want to draw, you can draw using the mouse. So keyboard and mouse are very essential or minimum required input devices. Apart from that, there are many devices. I have given one example as scanner. In the next video, you are going to learn detail about all the input devices. So now, what is input unit? Input unit means which is used to give the data inside the computer. So which are the devices are used to give the data into the computer to store in the memory? All the devices are coming under input unit. Next one is output unit. An output unit is an hardware component that conveys information to users in an understandable form. If you are typing A or B in the keyboard, you can see it on the screen. Am I right? But the keyboard is not directly connected with the monitor. The keyboard is connected with the CPU. Then the CPU is giving the information, then it is displaying on the screen. So, which are the devices are used to display the information? All are coming under output unit. So, the main purpose of the output unit is to display the information to the users. So which is used to store, which device is used to store information inside the computer is called input unit. The unit which is displaying the content to the user in the understandable form is said to be output unit. So the devices under output unit are monitor and printer. So you know, monitor is the screen which is used to see the software which is in the CPU. Without the monitor, we cannot use any software. Then printer is used to print the content in a paper. So is it clear? Then central processing unit. This is the middle for the input and output. The input unit is connected with the central processing unit. The output unit also connected with the central processing unit, that is our CPU. I think you will know, because you are all grown up children, your mouse keyboard is connected with the CPU. Even your monitor is also connected with the CPU. The CPU is the major component which interrupts and executes software instructions. CPU is the major component which interprets and executes software instruction. It is also control the operation of other components such as memory, input, output units. It accepts binary data as input, process the data according to the instructions, and provide the result as output. So CPU is the main part. What are the functionalities of a CPU? This CPU only executes the software. That means your operating system, Windows, Word, Excel, your Windows Media Player, everything is executed by the CPU. It also controls the operations of all other components. That means all the input and output devices are connected with the CPU. So it is the controlling authority. Then it accepts binary data as input. That means binary in the sense 0 and 1. As we are typing A in the keyboard, A is displayed on the screen. That only we know. But actually when we press the A key in our keyboard, that A is converted into binary and it is stored in the main memory RAM and it is displayed on the screen, which is understandable by us. So you will learn what is binary data and how it converts later in your chapter itself. Now have an idea. CPU accepts the input as binary data. That means by the user we know we are going to store text, numbers, image, audio, video file inside the CPU. But CPU know only binary. That means it is converted into binary and it is stored. It's a process. It's an internal process. We cannot see this in our own eyes. Process the data according to the instructions and provide the result as output. Next point. This central processing unit has three internal units: control unit, arithmetic logic unit, memory unit. So CPU is having three units: control unit, arithmetic logic unit ALU, and memory unit MU. So input unit, output unit, middle one is central processing unit. This central processing unit is again having three units: control unit, arithmetic logic unit, and memory unit. So what is the use of ALU? The ALU is a part of the CPU where various computing functions are performed on data. ALU performs, what are the things it is performing? Arithmetic operation. Arithmetic operation in the sense it is the plus, minus, addition, plus, subtraction, multiplication, division, and logical operations. So ALU is responsible, as from the name itself you can understand, it is arithmetic logic unit. So it is performing arithmetic and logical operations. You may be surprised to know one thing. All the multiplication and divisions are done in the basis of addition and subtraction inside the ALU. You are going to learn that. You are not going to learn in an elaborate manner, but you are going to learn as a gist how the ALU is processing a data. So here you are knowing 3 points. One is ALU is a part of CPU. Second, it performs arithmetic and logical operations. Then result of an operation is stored in internal memory of the CPU. The logical operations of ALU promote the decision making ability of a computer. Basically, this is the inside the CPU, arithmetic logic unit is doing all the calculation part. Then control unit. Control unit controls the flow of data between the CPU, memory and IO devices, that means input output devices. This control unit is the head of the department. Without this control unit we cannot do anything. All the units control all in the hand of control unit. It also controls the entire operation of a computer. We know that CPU is the brain of the computer. Inside the CPU there is three main parts: ALU, control unit, memory unit. Among the three, control unit is the head. Then memory unit. When we come to the memory unit, it is having two things. One is primary memory, another one is secondary memory. The primary memory is used to temporarily store the programs and data when the instructions are ready to execute. That means when we switch on our computer, we are waiting for the booting process. After that, we are seeing the desktop screen, that is Windows first screen with the start button. So our OS, operating system software, is stored in the hard disk. Whenever we switch on the computer, the booting process will happen. After that, the OS which is stored in the hard disk is taken to the main memory RAM. Next, secondary memory. Secondary memory is used to store the data permanently. So what is this temporary permanently? Permanently is our hard disk. In our hard disk we can store the data and it remains there itself. Then what happened to the primary memory means, you think that you are working in a Word file. You have typed 4 lines but not yet you have saved. Just you are typing, suddenly the power goes. What will happen when the power comes? When you log into the computer, when you see the Word, the file will not there because it is in the RAM memory. As it is not saved, the content is temporarily in the RAM memory, that is the primary memory. So when the power goes, it also will go. So only it is said to be temporary memory, or it is volatile. There is a word, volatile memory. But secondary memory is said to be permanent memory because it stores the data even if the power is there or not. So only we are insisting everyone to save the data immediately when you have a file. The primary memory is volatile. That means it will stores the power, it will stores the data until the power is on. That is, the content is lost when the power supply is switched off. The random access memory, RAM, is an example of main memory. Secondary memory is non-volatile. That is, the content is available even after the power supply is switched off. The hard disk, CD-ROM, DVD-ROM are examples of secondary memory. We are going to see the secondary memory in elaborate. So we have learnt what is control unit. It controls all other units. ALU, it is doing arithmetic and logical operations. Memory is of two types. One is main memory, another one is secondary memory. Main memory will have, that is the primary memory, will have the data when the power is on. Secondary memory stores the data permanently. Primary memory is volatile. Secondary memory is non-volatile. So we'll have a recap. Input unit. What is input unit? What are the through which devices we are giving the data into the computer? All the devices will come under the unit input unit. This is used to give the data into the computer. Then output unit. Output unit displays the result in the understandable format. Intermediate is the CPU. So when we give a data, it is in the main memory. From the main memory only the output is, it is connected with the output, but all the control is with the CPU. How it is connected means, ALU, arithmetic logic unit, is connected with the CPU's internal memory. This internal memory is connected with the main memory. The main memory is connected with the secondary memory. And control unit has the control over input unit and the secondary memory, output unit, main memory, internal memory, ALU. Simply, control unit is the head of the department. So these are the components of computer: input unit, output unit, central processing unit. That's all for this session, children. Learn one. It is an important 5-mark question. Thank you. Have a good day.